Hi, how are you? If you don't know me, my name is Aida, and this is a really special video because it's my first video in English. Yay! I'm so happy to record this video in English because all my content are in Portuguese, not only here in YouTube, but also there in my main social media account, that is Instagram. So if you don't follow me, I know it's Portuguese, but you can find me in Aira Oliveira, not only here in YouTube, but also there in Instagram. If you're watching this video, you are meant to be here. So welcome. In my channel, I talk about marketing, digital marketing strategies, business strategy, but this video is different. If you're an English speaker, probably you don't know me at all, I know, but to give you just a basic scenario, I live here in Brazil. Last year I was traveling around, so I live in Latin America, but also in Middle East. I love this life and I miss it so much. That's why I'm trying to record different things here in Instagram in English. Because first of all, I miss talking in English, but also I know that I have a different perspective that it's interesting to share. So let's go. As I mentioned, last year I was traveling the world. I lived in 4 different countries, but total I visited like 13, 14 countries. It was the year for me. It was an amazing time. I met so many good people with different culture, different point of views, and I love it. Personally speaking, I love meeting different cultures, trying to understand, trying to meet all those people. This for me is so important. And I remember the time I was in Rome. I don't know if you visit Rome already, but if you didn't, please go visit Rome. I heard so many things like Rome is the best city. No, Rome is the worst city to visit. Personally speaking, I love Rome. Last year during my travels, I visited Rome like 2 or 3 times because I was in love with that city. I don't know why, but there is something different there. All those places, the street, obviously the food, it was amazing. And my second time there, I remember I chose this specific hostel that was not in the center of Rome. It was like kind of far from all the rush. It was a new hostel, so they had only a few guests. And in my room, it was just me, a Korean girl, and an Argentinian girl. It was amazing. It was amazing because those 2 girls were such an amazing human being, and I remember that we have so many good conversations about life. Because imagine a Brazilian, a Korean, and an Argentinian girl in the same place. And there was this day when me and this Korean girl, we were talking about life, and there was this guy who was Bolivian, and he came to talk with us. It was a great moment, and that guy worked with the Amazon forest. That I don't know if you know, but Amazon forest is so huge that it's not just in Brazil. Most part is in Brazil. We share with Bolivia, Ecuador, and different places. And he, for being a Bolivian, he was working in the Amazon forest, but the Bolivian part. And he was sharing all the problems he were facing as someone from Latin America, as someone working with the Amazon forest in Bolivia for a Korean woman. I don't know if you can imagine that conversation, but it was so fun to watch it because we all know and can imagine that South Korea is really different from Latin America. And my friend was like, okay, but how do you deal with that? You just need to fix it doing that. And he was like, no, we can't do that because we have all those problems if we do this. And she was, okay, if you can do this, you can do the other thing. And he was, no, we cannot do the other thing because if we do the other thing, all those problems will appear. To cut a long story, she was like, sit, I could see so many thoughts in her mind because it was at that end. And there was this moment that she looked at us, and both of us, me and the Bolivian guy, we were laughing so bad because we are used to face different problems and not being able to fix it. But not her. She's from a big city, a super technological city with not many problems as us, and we were laughing like, oh no, we presented to her so many problems, I'm so sorry. I could see that she was thinking a lot, like, okay, that's a lot. And after a silent moment, she asked us, how do you keep smiling when you have so many problems? I think this video is just my reply for this answer. I know that when I say I am Brazilian or I am from Brazil, so many images cross your mind if you're not Brazilian. Probably the favelas, probably samba, probably funk, probably Anita, I don't know, but there is an image in your mind. And I could say that it's a true image, but not that much. Here in Latin America, we do face problems, different problems than the rest of the world. When I was living in Scotland, it was a great place, like one of the best places in the world to live, but they have problems in their health system. I know that because one time I need just a medicine, I couldn't. It was a hard process. And there was this other time I was living in Israel. I love Israel so much, but they have problems such as the war. Different countries have different problems, and it's not different for us. Here in Latin America, here in Brazil, we have problems. It's different from America, different from Europe, but we have problems. And that question, how do you keep smiling when you have so many problems? An amazing question. Here in Brazil, we have this saying that is hope is the last thing that dies. I think it's beautiful, and I think that translates a lot our thinkings and our actions. But I'm here to reply this girl and probably help you how to face problems as a Brazilian point of view. The problems that I'm going to reply here is not regarding big problems such as government problems, but your problems that you are facing in your life right now. I hope you're ready because it's really good. You need to understand that I'm talking a perspective of a Brazilian, of someone that lived her entire life in Latin America, and this is really special because about problems, we understand it, okay? We understand it so much. Because we know that we face problems. We know that we face violence, that we face financial problems all the time, that we face problems regarding the government, regarding social problems. We know that. So the first thing I would say is you need to have this consciousness. Don't ignore it. Don't close your eyes regarding your problems. Sometimes in our lives, we are facing some kind of situation that we don't want to have this knowledge that it's a problem, that I need to fix it, because it will take me time, it will take my money, I don't know what will take me, but it's a problem. And a problem is a problem. You need to acknowledge that, and you need to understand that it's a problem. I know it's bad, but it will help you. Don't ignore the fact that it's a bad thing. Don't close your eyes just because it's a bad thing. When you understand that it's going on, it'll be so much easier, although it's hard, the next stage and the next phases. The second thing is just ask yourself, this is something that I can fix it? Because here in Brazil, we have so many problems that we can fix it. For example, if I go to SUS, that is our free health system here in Brazil, because it's free, I know I'm going to face a huge line, probably I need to wait months and months to have my treatment, but once I'm in the waiting room, for example, and someone treats me bad, this is a problem that I can fix it. So if I can fix it, I will in that moment. Don't wait to fix it. Don't wait the perfect time. Don't wait the perfect circumstances, because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. You just have today. So if you can fix it today, do it. I can go to that person and say, hey, I understand you having a bad time, a bad day, but this is not a reason to treat me like this. Or if you're having a problem at work and you can fix it, talk with people or explain your point of view. I don't know how you can do it, but fix it. But when you ask yourself, this is something that I can fix it, and the answer is no, this starts to be tricky. I always talk with my little brother that if there's a problem that I can't fix it, I need to be real mature to not worry at all. I know it's hard and I know that you may not agree with me, but if I can fix it, it's not my problem. This problem that it's not in my hands doesn't have the power to stay in my mind and to steal my peace. I don't allow it, and I think you should do the same. If it's something that is out of your hands, think how you're going to bring it to your life and what is the place of this problem. For example, imagine that you work in a big tech company and they just announced that they are going to fire like 1,000 people in that company, but they didn't mention who or when. I know that this brings you anxiety, and I know this is a problem because it may be you or not, but you don't have control of the situation. You probably can ask your manager or your colleague, but although that, I don't know what you can do. Don't allow it to become a monster in your mind, because if you can fix it, you just can fix it. And here I bring other two questions that is really good. The first one is, how will you deal with a situation when you are incapable? And how are you when you don't have control and when you don't have power? What emotions appears to you? Because here in Brazil, we have so many big problems that we can't fix it. For example, social problems. This is a really big problem that if I could, I would fix it right away. And we do our job and we do what we can, but we have so many things that we just can't. So how I deal with that? How I deal with myself when I don't have control? Do I scream? Do I get anxious? Do I get sad? Do I treat people bad? I don't know, but how are you when you don't have control? This is a really serious question because here in Brazil or Latin America in general, I don't want to put all of us in the same box, but that friend looked for all of that and saw that despite of all those problems, we keep smiling. We were happy. We had hope in our hearts and our minds. This is how we deal with problems. We try to fix when we can, and when we can't, we understand and know who we are, and we continue. We continue when everything seems that it's impossible. I know it's not the perfect scenario, I know that, but I hope all of this can help you somehow. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video in English or not, so I see you there. Bye!